What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by two things. Since we don't do any sponsorships here on the channel, I'll show them out real quick. The first is my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name After Sound, and the second is a new podcast I just launched called Chasing Infinity. Links in the description below. Check them out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. Okay, guys, let's talk about vouchers because we are coming up to the end of the first quarter, the first 3 months of this voucher promo, this streamlined kind of utility that we've given for Mana Warden being the first card, right? It came out, I believe, September 3rd, so here we are about 2 weeks away from December 3rd, and you can see that the amount of vouchers has increased over time, the amount of vouchers in circulation. So, you know, I was thinking about this, and I'm like, okay, obviously I've talked at length about Mana Warden just not being the card that everybody needed and, utilizing all the extra vouchers that we had as I was hoping. And you can primarily see this if we go into printing and distribution. Now, keep in mind, in order to burn the roughly 3.6 million vouchers that we would mint over the course of 3 months, it would have to be 120,000 BCX that were printed. And clearly we're nowhere close to that, right? We kind of stalled once we hit 60, 70,000. We're now at 77,518. Maybe this jumps a little bit once we get some clarification on the next voucher promo card. And again, I don't know what the better situation is. I don't know what the team is going to do in terms of maybe, it'll be one of two things, right? Either Mana Warden is no longer available after, and again, December 3rd, they haven't announced it officially yet. I'm just saying like that would be 3 months. So it should be around that time. But I don't know if they're going to take Mana Warden out and replace it with a new card entirely, or the other suggestion I was having was to keep Mana Warden in there for a full year and just introduce a second card. And then once we go through a full year, so, early September of 2025, that's when you rotate cards out. And so you'd have 4 cards in the voucher promo shop at a time. Again, whichever way they do it, I don't think is a big deal. Obviously, if they are going to remove Mana Warden, that might spur some people to get more BCX. But at the end of the day, we'll have to wait and see. Now, the thing is, I was like, okay, well, if you're not going to buy the card with vouchers, what can you use it for? Like, what are you just sitting on these vouchers for unless you're just going to sell them? And obviously, the voucher price has tanked, so clearly a good amount of people are selling, including myself, right? I was selling for a good majority of this time. But the other option would be to actually throw it into the voucher DEC liquidity pool. And after running through the numbers on this, and again, this stuff is going to change day to day, but I was just looking at the 30-day trade activity, seeing how much was in the system, and I came out to roughly between 9 to 10% APR. That's actually not bad, right? That's actually not bad overall. I mean, granted, you're going to have to sell your vouchers for DEC or half for DEC, or you're going to have to find DEC from somewhere else and pair it with your vouchers. But the truth is, when I think about it, well, if you don't want the cards and you think you may want to have vouchers in the future, or you just want to put some capital away where it can continue to earn. I mean, there's consistent trade activity here. You can see $100 over the past 24 hours. The average is about that much, right? About a little bit over $100 a day on the 30-day. So there are fees being earned here, and you're slowly increasing your DEC and voucher holdings over time. That's actually not a bad deal. That's not a bad trade. And so I'm not particularly happy about that because obviously I want vouchers to just be completely gone. But at the end of the day, it does provide a viable alternative. And so I'm just highlighting this as something that I haven't even used, but the APR isn't bad. And if voucher prices start to go up, or DEC starts to go up, or there's just more volume overall, actually it's really the volume thing. If there's more volume overall, those fees can start to add up and start to compound over time. So, all in all, I'm thinking it's going to be interesting to see where we end up with whatever this next card is going to be. I don't know what rarity it's going to be. It could be another common card, at which point do they keep the 30 voucher price point or do they increase it, right? If it's going to be a different rarity, what kind of thing is it going to offer so that it's going to be something that people just absolutely must have? But at this point in time, I'm not trying to make a prediction here, but I do wonder if vouchers are a little bit oversold, right? And I've actually not sold my vouchers in a couple of days just because I'm like, well, we're going to get an announcement at some point in the next couple of weeks. And I would like to think that vouchers can, if not get back to a penny, maybe get close to a penny like they were when Mana Warden first came out. Now, that being said, we have more vouchers today than when Mana Warden came out because people have chosen not to get Mana Warden. But my thought process is if we're going to have, if the team can actually deliver a fantastic card, that could eat up more than the 3.6 million, right? Which would be fantastic. That's exactly what we want to see. But it's going to be a couple of days or a couple of weeks, I should say, until we get the full details of that. In the meantime, though, I can understand why there's more vouchers in circulation. I can understand why people would opt for something like this. And my curiosity is for those of you out there that are participating, is that the reason, right? When you look at Mana Warden and you're like, well, I could take 30 vouchers and buy this card, or I could just throw it into something, or, I mean, you could sell it, right? Or I could just, throw it into the LP and earn 10% on it and have, some kind of exposure to vouchers in the future in case I wish to use it. That makes sense. I mean, there's $20,000 worth of liquidity in there. So just highlighting that because I hadn't really calculated the APR in a while, but curious to hear your thoughts on this, how you guys operate with your vouchers. Like I said, for me, I've been primarily selling them. I'm starting to stack them a little bit now because I'm curious to see what the next one will be. But this is a third alternative option, and I'm curious how many of you out there are actually taking advantage of it. So let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you're expecting for the next voucher promo card, and if you are starting to stack vouchers for that or planning to buy vouchers for that. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.